Stop before you watch. My camera began to overheat while I was watching this episode, so the footage of me will have a lot of frozen frames. The audio is okay as I record audio separate from my camera. I decided to post it anyway since I don't have time to re-record. If you find the constant freezing annoying, feel free to skip this rewatch episode. Sorry about this, y'all. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Ray, and we are about to jump into episode 6 of season 1 of Wheel of Time. Obviously last episode we had the kind of slow exploration of grief on 3 counts, and the ultimate death of Stepan, and then the final kind of note ending on Lan's expression of that grief from his point of view and from the warder's point of view. A lot of exploration of the Aes Sedai and the warder bond. We also got a little bit of the we also got the Perrin confessing to Egwene about what happened with Layla. And then of course we have Mat's continued deterioration from what we know, of course, having seen the whole season, is the dagger. And of course, as somebody who's read the books, obviously I knew that it was the dagger from the jump. But here we go into episode 6, probably my favorite episode of the season, for sure. Loved the Moiraine focus and meeting Siuan and getting to know their dynamic and their mission, their 20-year mission to find the dragon and stop him from going to the dark, train him, whatever. But we're about to dive into some more Aes Sedai politics. Not the deep stuff, but, you know, we're getting a taste. We're getting a taste of Aes Sedai politics. We had a little bit of it the last couple of episodes with the Reds versus the Greens and versus Moiraine, specifically Liandrin. So now we're going to really dig in. Well, we're not going to really dig in. We're going to get more of that. We won't really dig in until probably next episode when our principal characters, the Emmons Fielders, mostly Egwene and Nynaeve, get to the tower and really experience tower politics firsthand. So, all right, let's go ahead and jump in. And yeah. We'll kind of treat this as a commentary style reaction since I've already seen the whole season, the whole show. Yeah, let's go. No more wasting time. Okay. Love this opening with Siuan when she was a child. You know, the books have a lot of like vignettes like this that open up the story and just show glimpses of the past, of different areas, things like that. And I really love when they do that in this show. They don't do it every episode, but a lot of them. Love the tattoos.
Come on.
Just a glimpse of a different, you know, different area of this world, a different culture in this world, and their relationship to the one power.
One knows the breaking point of her line. Don't push yours.
The start of all of Siuan's fishing aphorisms. She has so many. They were like, Robert Jordan was like, "You never gonna forget this woman was a fisherwoman." Like, we know this from the White Cloaks that there are areas where there are people who do not like Aes Sedai, hate them, kill them. Kind of puts an underline under Liandrin's conversation with Nynaeve, where she kind of hints at the idea that, yeah, in a lot of areas women hold a lot of power, especially the one power, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there aren't areas where they're treated like garbage. It happens. Or feared.
When it's safe in Tyr. See?
This actor sold this
bloody clever for this place.
so well. Like, he's so good. Just this one, you know, short, like 3-minute
I should be here.
story.
Swan.
And he sold so much history.
Look at me.
We're never going to see that man again.
You're going to do great things.
Which is, I don't even know. I wish we could, maybe with flashbacks. But
Show them.
yeah, this is, yeah, the director for this. I know her. She's an actress from...
The Watcher of the Seals, the Flame of Tar Valon.
I almost wanted to say Eureka. She's an actress in Eureka, but she also does directing. She's a great director. So we get to see all the sitters and all the different Ajah colors. Love the costumes on all of these ladies, the variety. Everything. And of course the rainbow. I mean, they've made the shawl kind of more ceremonial. So they're not constantly wearing the shawl here, but I appreciate that they kept her rainbow colors there.
Bring the
My
false
sis.
dragon.
Entirely to the madness.
I love Sophie Okonedo.
This is my
She's
judgment.
so good.
Remove him.
She's such a Rosamund Pike. Basically convinced her to take this role.
I beg you. Kill me.
It's such a good choice. Like she knows exactly who would
Liandrin.
perfectly match this character.
Alanna.
I beg the Amerlin's clemency. Tyranny died.
The way
to protect
Moiraine
us
looks
from
over,
the
like,
false
the
dragon.
fuck?
Too strong.
Why?
Well, I suggest you ask her, Mother.
This is blue business, Mother. Not for scrutiny in this hall.
And your lips touch this marble? And you beg your mother for mercy?
Oh, Sophie, she's so good. And I love how she's playing this fine line of, like, trying to seem more unhinged, you know, than she is. Like, obviously, because she's trying to
I will think on your penance. And deliver judgment tomorrow.
put on an act for everyone in the tower,
Depart now in the light.
for the sake of their secret mission. But it's such an interesting thing to Aes Sedai because they have to be able to be deceptive without lying outright. So they have to believe what they say. And they have to say what they don't mean.
Publicly.
And yet somehow it has to all still be the truth. It's really a fine line. I love it. Love this. Love seeing her just drink tea and thinking that us thinking that she's just, you know, taking some time while she thinks on her plan. But actually the plan is already in motion. And you see Nynaeve and Loyal walking in the back.
How bad is he?
I love the sound design of this. Like, it's like squelching, but it's also like creaking. The makeup design on his hands being a little greenish yellow. The way it like latches onto her face, trying to get inside of her, and then she pulls it out and pushes it back into the knife. Like, it's just really great. Yeah, I really love Love this episode. It's so firmly in Moiraine's POV as well. So I feel like it's kind of like the first time that we get to really crack her open and understand her. Well, as much as she allows, but...
For helping him.
I took something from them. Valda won't hurt any more of your sisters.
Again, there is not a single way I would believe that man was dead after I just stabbed him in the shoulder and I still heard him groaning on the ground when I ran out.
There are no greater healers on earth than the Aes Sedai of the Yellow Ajah.
You could at least gone another stab at his neck or something.
I'm worried about him.
But, you know, she's never killed anybody before, and in the heat of the moment, you just stab and run.
Like a wolf's.
Good night, lad.
Be back before dawn.
Is that an order?
Did it sound like a suggestion?
Yes, it was. I love them together. They're so great. What is it called? It's not it's a Terangrial, I think, on the wall. And later on we see the same one on Siuan's wall as well, so it's very clear that they're both connecting to each other. Now the question I have is, I don't think this is a dream world. I think it's an actual physical space that they can enter. But the question is this like a liminal space, or is this somewhere out somewhere? You know, like, is this somewhere up in the, you know, mountains? It's very clearly modeled to look like her river home. So.
I hate it when you call me that.
Love this. I love this reveal that not only are they colluding together, but very clearly they are sleeping together.
Favorites.
And they're very much in love. Pulled directly from New Spring and just brought up.
No love of one's own. Nothing but the seat.
Giving a bit of a different tinge to their dynamic from the books. The idea that they're still lovers even after, you know, so long. Even 20 years of back and forth travel, subterfuge, lies hasn't shaken it. Maybe even made it grow deeper because they're the only ones they can trust, you know, fully and 100%. So.
These are new.
Yeah. Maybe two.
This is one of my favorite ships from the books, by the way. My bisexual queens. They're bisexual in the books. If that's not clear, they're bisexual in the books as well, and they have a romantic relationship. Anybody that says otherwise did not read the books correctly. They read it with the most heterosexual lens you could possibly have, even with Robert Jordan confirming that they were together.
I found the dragon.
Ridiculous. Cannot believe there are people out there that deny that they were together.
Perhaps. It's complicated.
Well, say something.
I know this is not salient to what's happening in the scene, but I really love Moiraine's like casual outfit here. It's like super comfortable, like nightgown thing she's got on.
Can't get away with that.
Looks great. She looks great. They're both very sexy women, so it's very easy for them to look great in this scene. Tough.
I thought we'd have more time.
They really do just be taking stolen moments, stolen nights, over 20 years.
Don't we?
Tough.
One day we will. In this life or the next.
Like, it's just her moves and counter moves. It's just her doing what she needs to do.
Funny, I wore exactly the same expression
Every
when I first saw
second
this
that
room.
she's on screen in this episode, except for the scenes in the cottage with Siuan, she's
The
just
island eat itself.
focused, doing what she needs to do,
Confusing
getting results.
to have the woman in the throne name the same thing.
I mean, it's a great
First,
way
there's someone else who wants to see you.
to emphasize that the Amerlin seat is a position.
How can you call yourself a leader?
Is a position
Egwene.
and not some kind of all-powerful, forever thing.
I thought you were dead.
Once you leave the seat,
did the
then the
child
power
that
is
took me.
gone, and it belongs
What
to
are you
someone
doing
else,
here?
the next
There's a lot
leader.
to catch up on,
you
I
know.
know.
Most powerful channeler we've seen in 1,000 years. Nynaeve Almira.
The way
Low standards.
the way Egwene looks so proud, thinking that it's about her, and then she gets completely sideswiped by the
And
fact that it's
you?
about Nynaeve.
Egwene Alvir.
Like,
your
it's so funny.
Bravery and spark.
The bravado. I love Nynaeve. She's just so fun.
Whether you can bear it or not.
A lot of strong wills in
Last
this room right
coming.
now. Butting heads.
What any of us want now is meaningless.
Give Nynaeve a
The
few
only
more
thing that
years
matters
and
is what you do.
she had literally one day here. And now she's to be banished.
To
And then she
ensure
has to,
your
like-
acceptance of this penance, you will swear fealty to the judgment of this
It's
seat
the pageantry for
on the
me.
sacred oath rod.
But it's also not pageantry because they're both feeling like heartbreak over being separated again. But they also have
Swear
to
your
put
oaths,
on a play
Moiraine
for
Sedai.
everyone there and make it
Before
seem
your
like it's about
sisters
something
in this
different.
sacred
All while
hall.
not ever lying.
The one power renders it unbreakable and never return till she calls me home.
These wedding
May the
vow
fierce
ass
face turn from me, and darkness consume
words.
my soul.
So she's quote unquote whispering here. She lowered her voice here. And then later on she raises it, implying that what she's saying here is private between her and Siuan, as opposed to later on when she raises her voice and that's for the hall to hear and believe that she did
She calls me home.
her full oath. The tears falling, the way she slightly touched her finger, like, it's so good. The intimacy that they were able to build between these two characters in this one episode is just magnificent.
It is done.
Love her riding outfit. Just her adventurer outfit, super dope. But she still has the shoulders that like mark all of her other clothing
Thank you for
as
honoring
well.
your promise.
Maybe a design from her
Are you
home,
alone?
or maybe just her design, her preferences. You know. 2, so 3, 4, 5, now 6. Yeah,
You look like shit.
about 4 episodes of being separated,
Feels good to see you.
and over a month, like a month and a half,
wasn't stupid enough to steal an evil dagger.
maybe even 2 months actually, because there was a month jump in episode 5. But even before that, it must have been at
There
least
will be
like
time for
3
every
weeks.
story as we travel.
Bragging news.
Nope. Even after all this time, can't be sure.
When we left the Two Rivers, I told you nothing because I couldn't trust you. But now I know you, and I
she
let me
can't.
speak clearly.
She can't even fake that she trusts
turn
them.
back
Trusts
here,
them now.
If we do
She's
not
like,
stop
all
the
right,
Dark
that's
One
not gonna
now,
work.
while
Let
we
me
still-
rephrase.
The whole world will turn to darkness. Hell will burn. And when a new age comes, it will be built upon the ashes of the places and people we love.
I really love that she couldn't say the truth there, so she had to kind of change
about
the way
whoever's
what
not
she
the
was going to
dragon?
say.
What happens to them?
Yeah, right? All right, how can I say this without lying? You can always see it turn in her head.
Until that moment comes.
I like that the magic is in the shape that opens the ways in the book. The leaf. I'm sure there will be more about that later, but because I guess this is a slight spoiler for the books, but the way to open the ways is different than what she just did. But I think they're just, you know, for the rule of cool for it, they're giving us a secondary way that you can open the ways, basically. It is what it is. All we can do is what we're called to do, what we're supposed to do. Because there's no controlling the wheel itself.
Wait. Matt! Matt! What are you doing? Come on, Matt! The gate's closing!
Yeah. So this, of course, is where the actor made the decision not to return. So they kind of had to rewrite the story to have Matt not join them for the last 2 episodes. So. All right, and that was episode 6 of my second watch of The Wheel of Time, season 1. So, obviously I talked quite a bit throughout that episode, so I'm probably keep this part short. It's getting quite late for me. But obviously we are about to journey into kind of the final hurrah of the season. And I think we've, at this point, we've fully established the stakes for all characters involved. This is the first episode where we get like a really deep dive into Moiraine and her motivation. And so I feel like we've gotten most of the characters like a really good like spotlight. Like all of our principal characters for sure, we've gotten them a really good spotlight, like really meaty episode to show their stuff, to show their motivations, to explore their characters. They've been separated into smaller stories, paired up in different ways than one might expect, and we've gotten to see them kind of grow because of that and kind of reveal who they are because of it, be put through trials and tribulations and whatnot, and now they have reunited and they're headed to the eye of the world to stop the Dark One at the behest of the Amyrlin seat. Now, obviously, because I've watched the season, I know what happens in the next 2 episodes. I know who the dragon is. I've read the books as well, so even if this had been my first time watching, I would know who the dragon is. So all will be revealed in the next episode, and then we have, of course, the final clash between light and dark in the final episode. And then we will be jumping into season 2. So, like I said, I won't be releasing these onto YouTube until the strike is at an end, or there's been some kind of reprieve with the strikes. So for now, they'll be kind of locked in my vault on my Patreon. But as soon as the strike is over, I'll be, working on editing everything down and posting it on YouTube as soon as possible. I think the thing that makes me love this episode so much is that for the show, Moiraine is probably my favorite character alongside Nynaeve, and we got a lot of both of them this episode, a lot of their clash for the last like three episodes, really. A lot of their headbutting and their similarities as well as their differences. So I feel like I was destined to love this episode simply because of how much we got of Moiraine. And then we got Siuan, so I love me a Sapphic pairing. So As a Sapphic myself, I love me some ladies. So it was very beautiful to see a long time ship of mine kind of come to fruition on the screen. And by ship, it's not like anybody who says that they were not lovers in the books did not read the books. They were absolutely together in the books. If you want a slight spoiler, they were together in the books mostly as novices and accepted when they were still young. And then they kind of had to break up in order to focus on their mission. And then you kind of catch up with them 20 years later. But they were absolutely together. And anybody who says that they made them lesbian when they weren't, like, no, they just didn't read the books. Or they were hella homophobic and when they were reading those books, and so they decided to ignore everything, including Robert Jordan talking about them being together. Good Lord. Yeah. Anyway. So we got a lot of them together in this episode, so I was bound to love it. We got a little glimpse of Siuan and her childhood, and the fact that she comes from Tyr, a place where having access to the One Power, being a channeler means violence will be enacted upon you. That there is, anybody who's black watching that scene felt very, maybe not anyone, I guess there's some black people out there that didn't feel this, but like probably most black people that saw that scene of them coming home to their house burned down and this symbol in the front got visceral flashbacks or a visceral feeling. If you're a Black American, yeah, absolutely. Or from the South in general. Yeah, it was very burning white cross on the front. That whole vibe. So that's the kind of welcome you would have in Tyr. Please understand, if you're a channeler, that's what would happen to you in Tyr. So, yeah, so we got to see a little bit more of the world open up in that way. We got a little bit more with Loyal, not a lot, but I'm certain we'll get a lot more in the next season. So I'm excited about that because I really love Loyal's character. And I'm really ready for us to learn more about him and his people and see his influence on the team, on the group, having joined our ragtag band of Emmons Fielders, Chosen Ones, and Taviran, and this woman trying to hold it all together. But all right, I think that's everything that I want to say for this particular episode. We're going to jump into the last 2 episodes tomorrow. This will be my last recording for tonight. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment, all those things down below. Let me know what you thought. Feel free to go to my Patreon to find other stuff that I have. Either I couldn't post on YouTube or, just early stuff before I posted on YouTube, that kind of thing. I'm all the social media, Twitter, Twitch, whatever. I'm not on Instagram, but Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Patreon. Feel free to, join any of those, like, subscribe, all that stuff. Okay, this is the internet. You know what to do. All right, and I will see you guys next time.
Baby, it's whatever. All this ever, but you long gone. It don't matter.